What did you see when you went back and watched the film from Tuesday?
Some positive, some negative. It's so early, so you gotta check yourself as a staff this early on, especially with how many young guys we're playing. That and just remind yourself that it's a long process. Some of the things the controllables you wish you would have seen controlled a little bit better, such as making shooters bounce the basketball, especially when he really got it going. Didn't respond to that very well, and it was collectively. It wasn't one guy. Decisions with the basketball not very good. Stuff that and we've controlled that a little bit better. Just played more under control. Played more off of 2 feet. Made simpler plays in practice leading into that game. Some positives were getting guys minutes, for the first time in front of fans, under the lights for the first time. Getting guys some game-like experience. I thought we had individual performances that were pretty good to good by a few guys. Andrew Demhart, KJ Blackshear, Omar Payne was really good. Trey Mann was good. Those guys come to mind. I like the way we shared the basketball. I thought the ball moved pretty well for most of the game. I don't think guys were hunting shots, which is something that you definitely don't want to see the first time in front of fans. So the unselfishness I liked. I liked the culture. I did. I liked the aura between the guys on the floor and on the bench. And one more negative that jumps in there, or concern, didn't think we rebounded the ball very well, either offensively or defensively. That's definitely a concern of this staff leading into game.
Mike, at this point, for your first game that counts, would you say that you're farther along than what you thought you might be, or maybe at this point where you say this is where we should be?
No, definitely not further along. Not where you want to be. I'm not sure you ever are where you want to be. There's always that level of concern about certain areas and urgency. I like the way we're shooting the basketball. I like the way we're sharing it. Those factors, I guess, we're in a pretty good place in those areas. Probably a couple others, but no, not where we need to be in terms of rebounding the basketball. Overall accountability defensively. Buy-in's pretty good, not great, especially defensively, and I think it's probably pretty typical with such a young team. My first go-around with this young of a team, of course, so I'm learning as we go as well.
Like, how important is you guys get 3 home games to kind of start the season, and then you're away from home for a long time?
Yeah, thank God we got the few at home, because we've got a tough schedule every year. It becomes very hard, really quickly, and so it'll be nice if we can capitalize. We've got to take advantage, and we've got to improve while at home, and also hopefully win. It become harder as we're doing a lot of traveling and playing high-level opponents throughout the non-conference schedule.
Rotation-wise, when you went back and saw how some rotations work together, was there anything that stood out to you, and maybe something that you kind of...
Yeah, probably put our freshman bigs in a position where let me backtrack. I didn't anticipate playing those guys that many minutes together, and they hadn't played that many minutes together in practice. Probably didn't give them enough direction, especially offensively, to where we could take advantage of playing those guys together. Allowed our guys to try to play through fatigue, probably more than we will, in a real game. We probably needed some structure there more offensively, especially in that second half. I thought that we started both halves pretty well. So I think that our starting five did a pretty good job in getting us off to a good start in both halves. And then again, I liked the production from Omar Payne. I thought Jatobo did some good things as well. We've probably got to pick and choose those freshman bigs. I'm not sure how much we'll play them together unless we can find a better way for them to play together and be successful.
Are some of those things you mentioned, not instructing guys too much, just kind of a symptom of not wanting to put too much on their plate right away from the jump?
Well, it's just so early where we don't have, in North Florida will be the same way, and Florida State will be the same way. And, you know, all of us will have more in by December. It's such a long season. And by January, we're putting more stuff in. And I remember going into the conference tournament last year, we're putting new stuff in, both offensively and defensively. And everybody's doing it, but you want to make sure right now, I guess everyone does it a little bit differently. The way that we wanted to do it this fall was let's get pretty good at the basic stuff, especially with 9 new guys and knowing we're going to be relying heavily upon freshmen. And we don't want to have 25 sets in. I'm not sure at the end of the day what will be our best way to play offensively yet. It's so early. And we're so versatile offensively, it gives you more options. And we hope it doesn't confuse it, you know. But we have focused going into that exhibition on more of the meat and potatoes, you know, than anything else. Getting in the stands, being competitive, being a good teammate, playing unselfishly, playing hard. And we'll find a way, we'll find, hopefully, you know, throughout the course of the season, you find your best way to play in transition, on defense, on offense, in the half court, all those things.
Going back to bigs, what does Bassett's return kind of look like in terms of how quickly you ramp him up, and what does he add to the front court?
Experience, toughness, physicality, some leadership, you know, some competitiveness. That's what Dante brings. Worked out today. Him and Gak both worked out non-contact today. I don't anticipate either one of them going today. I think I would have heard by now, so I'm not counting on those guys going today. I think Dante's probably closer. Hopefully, we play Tuesday. We go to Saturday, Sunday. We have a 3-day prep. But hopefully, Saturday, Sunday, Dante will get out there and we can see where he's at. Hopefully.
You mentioned rebounding being a concern a couple of times. Is that effort, scheme, and experience? What is the issue?
I don't think it's I'm not putting rebounding on experience. I think effort, yeah. Honestly, I hate to say it, but rebounding is a lot effort. It is. Tenacity, toughness, desire, you know, passion, all those things, physicality, motor. Some of it's cardio. You know, some of it is as guys get in more and more game shape. Hopefully we can become a better rebounding team, but it was early for Lynn as well. They seemed to beat us to too many basketballs. Some of it was one-on-one, some of it was where we had an opportunity where 2 or 3 guys out there did their job and they're blocking out and their accountability is where it's supposed to be, and then we've got a couple guys just watching and it's a bad bounce, but if you weren't watching, maybe you go get that rebound. Our guards have to rebound at a much higher level against Division I opponents, and especially against our schedule, especially the way that we play often with 4 guards out there. Keontae Johnson a lot of times, and KJ Blackshear, or whatever big is in when we're playing 4 guards, they're going to be in dogfights. And a lot of times we've got 3 guards out there complementing Keontae and a big. And what are those 3 guards going to do to help neutralize our lack of size? It can be advantageous for us offensively and in other areas from a skill level standpoint, but from a fight standpoint in the paint, we've got to bring more fight, or we're going to get beat up on the glass at times.
Omar came here with a great reputation as a defensive guy, shot blocker, etc. How has he progressed offensively, and is he ahead of the curve where you thought he might be offensively?
He's about where we thought he'd be. Really talented. Game's slowing down for him a little bit offensively, which we were hopeful that it would. You know, he had a good game. You know, the thing with these freshmen, I think with all young guys, I don't know that he'll have that same exact game against North Florida. Maybe he plays better, but I think that he's gonna, along with these other freshmen, they're gonna show signs of who they could be, and then over time, hopefully, become more and more consistent versions of those signs. You know, and Omar, I would have anticipated him being a little bit ahead defensively, altering shots, but rim running and finishing at the rim when he first got here, and but he's shown also you know, touch around the basket, feel around the basket, and understanding. His motor's improved in a pretty quick period of time. He's playing harder than he was a month ago. That'll continue to improve. He's got a chance to be a really good player.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
That's good.